Margot may be loved in the eyes of Hollywood, but beyond the screen, she's one of those people that some just can't get along with. Welcome to the channel. I'm Nate and these are the top 10 celebrities who refuse to work with Margot Robbie. Number 10. Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith is the wife to I Am Legend star Will Smith. Most recently though, she holds the title of disgruntled talk show host after her popular YouTube series Red Table Talk was removed from the internet earlier this year. Jada's feud with Margot spawns from a series of rumors that began circulating in 2015. Will Smith and Margot were set to star in a dramatic thriller called Focus together. According to many sources, the pair who played on-screen romantic interests were seen off-set cuddling and canoodling, leading many to speculate a possible affair was taking place. In reality, Margot and Will had become close during the production and considered each other to be close friends, even collaborating together in the DC flop that was The Suicide Squad in 2016. Not the 2020 remake, that is a masterpiece. When Jada first got wind of these rumors, she did not take that news well, reportedly confronting Margot and Will on set following a shoot day. While there was never a confirmation whether these two did in fact participate in an affair, Jada has made it very clear that she wants nothing to do with Margot personally or professionally. Oh well, Jada's a bad actor anyway and a bad person, so thank you. Next. Number 9. Amy Schumer. The woman behind comedy projects like The Amy Schumer Show and the film Trainwreck, which is the most accurate name for a movie of all time. Amy's career has been rocky on screen, however behind the scenes she has been very active as a writer, producer, and stand-up comedian, with her new special Emergency Contact now streaming on the Flicks. Recently, Amy was asked to participate in a small project alongside Margot and Ryan Gosling. It's called Barbie, and I have already purchased my tickets. Amy was one of the many talents offered a spot in the live-action film adaptation of the most popular doll in human history, but she denied the request to appear as one of the many variants. Her reasoning isn't anything scandalous like Margot threw shade at her in the auditions or something. It's simply because Amy was on a tour during the time of the filming and she just couldn't physically be on set. Amy actually shared a story of her being asked to audition for the role 6 years ago, but claims that due to the film taking so long to actually produce on top of her busy schedule, it just would have been impossible. The idea of Amy in the film isn't horrible though. She could have been a fun little addition to the ensemble cast. I mean, come on, just picture her and Michael Cera's Ken as like the Ken and Barbie that are extra snarky or judgy, you know? Margot, go get on that one. You gotta bring her back for the sequel. Number 8. Taylor Swift. I know what you're thinking. Taylor Swift doesn't even act. When would she have refused to work with Margot Robbie? Well, I'm sorry to remind you about it, but she was in Cats. My eyes! Sorry. Margot personally asked Taylor Swift to make a cameo as one of the many variations of Barbie that we're expecting to see in Greta Gerwig's upcoming comedy. Taylor and Margot have a small history together as friends, with Margot attending several of Taylor's concerts over the years, and she eventually made her way backstage where she befriended the pop singer. Taylor actually turned Margot down, claiming she didn't want to steal the show away from her friend. Fair enough, let's face it, since I said the words Barbie and Taylor Swift in the same sentence, you can't get that visual out of your mind. Blonde ponytails, earrings, a luxurious dream house, and having someone with such an incredible voice would have allowed the movie to transition into more of a musically themed comedy, which may already take place in the movie, but if not, well, we'll just reboot the franchise in a few years and recast the main character. Come on, Marvel does it with Spider-Man every other year. Number 7. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp had a stellar career before getting involved in a public trial with his ex-wife Amber Heard. As many hopefully know, Johnny portrayed the iconic Disney pirate Jack Sparrow in the popular Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. As with anything that Disney does though, the Pirates franchise is currently on the list of potential continuations or reboots. But the plan Disney has, well, it's not sitting well with Johnny. Early drafts of the story include Jack Sparrow handing the torch to a new pirate lead, in the form of a female captain played by Margot Robbie. He's essentially handing over the franchise to a new generation. Now, while I personally love this idea, Johnny isn't too excited about having such an iconic character written out in favor of a new, younger, and prettier performer. While there has not been a confirmation on whether that Pirates reboot is happening or not, one thing that has been confirmed is Johnny is refusing to participate in the project unless he gets a say in the script. Now, let's face it, Johnny's not a bad actor by any means. Sweeney Todd and Willy Wonka. One ends the lives of patrons who enter his barbershop, and the other is a wild, wacky candy man who ends the lives of 4 young souls who dare purchase his chocolate. Okay, maybe he's got a niche. Number 6. Kaley Cuoco. So, fun fact. The actor best known as the girl next door Penny from the hit sitcom The Big Bang Theory currently lends her voice to the animated version of a character that Margot has been playing on screen for over 7 years. Kaley currently plays Harley Quinn in the HBO Max animated series of the same name, while Margot has been playing the character since stealing the show in DC's Suicide Squad from 2016, which is arguably the only good thing about that movie. It was the casting, but Margot was the best. It's no surprise that the internet immediately began fabricating a feud between the two. They played the same character. There can only be one. Apparently this past year, Kaley refused to appear on a DC panel set to take place on the same day at Comic-Con and in a similar space as another panel involving Margot. While the pair had never met in real life, they refused to appear near each other. As the internet tends to do, this wasn't even close to the real reason why these two weren't near each other. The reality was neither knew that the other would be involved in the event, and Kaley was simply unable to attend due to a scheduling conflict. She even went on record to call Margot cute and claim her portrayal superior to her own. I've personally never seen the HBO series, but the knowledge that it exists makes me want to. Number 5. George Clooney. The former Batman actor and current celebrity, George Clooney is said to have banned Margot from participating in any future projects. He even mentioned that he was aware that she was the most in-demand actor in Hollywood's A-list, but due to something out of her control, he's blacklisted her from any and all projects. According to an article published by New Idea, George initially wanted Margot to work on a project with him in the near future, but his decision changed last minute to, never mind, get out of here. Apparently this decision was made after George discovered Margot was set to work with director David O. Russell on the film Amsterdam. Russell and Clooney had clashed on set of the 1999 film Three Kings, apparently disagreeing on how a specific scene should be portrayed. He also said that Mark Wahlberg was on his do not collaborate list, as he did not have George's back on set. Margot and Mark are on the no-no list. Okay, well let them make a movie together. I don't even care what it's about. Let me get my money. Number 4. Cara Delevingne. Cara and Margot did work together on a film in 2016 that we would all love to forget, and thanks to James Gunn, that's pretty easy. The pair starred together in DC's live-action adaptation of the Suicide Squad series. Margot, of course, portrayed the clown queen of Gotham, Harley Quinn, and still does that to perfection, while Cara spent the majority of the film making a skybeam in a subway station as the Enchantress. While the movie was awful, it was not the fault of the cast, who actually worked very well together and were probably the only good thing about this movie. Since the cast worked so well on screen, they decided to spend more time together off screen, even getting tattoos to commemorate the film. Man, they must regret that one now, eh? Cara has been asked if she would ever collaborate with Margot on future DC projects, but has maintained that the chances of that happening are fairly unlikely. Not only did she despise the end result of the Suicide Squad, but she's unable to maintain her composure around Margot and claims that she would just break too often for it to be a smooth shoot. I don't know, James Gunn, make Cara someone with less heavy makeup and CGI in the next one, please. Please. Number 3. Katherine Heigl. Katherine's always been seen as a bit of a bad girl in Hollywood since first talking trash about her fellow actor and collaborator, Seth Rogen, following her role in the comedy Knocked Up. On top of trashing that project, in which she was the main female lead, she also trashed the writers of the show Grey's Anatomy, claiming that her character had not been given enough quality material to use in a recent season. Katherine was originally asked to portray the character that Will Ferrell is currently credited to play in the new Barbie movie, but turned down the role with zero hesitation. Since wrapping things up in the comedy world, she's moved to more dramatic shows like Suits and Firefly Lane, trying to focus on her ability to act rather than her ability to be funny. She claimed that Margot is an example of an actor who can exist in multiple genres at once, but that she herself was just not that. Katherine's choice to bail on this one is misguided, as so far Barbie is set to be one of the biggest box office successes of the summer and includes an all-star cast. A cast of people who would not have accepted the role had they not been confident in the project. Well, apart from Kate McKinnon, I swear, you give that lady a camera and let her go and it will be magnificent. Number 2. Jared Leto. Alright, I can see the steam coming out of your ears because at this point you're either enjoying this list for entertainment's sake or you're mad at the misleading title and you've begun to notice that a lot of people don't really refuse to work with someone before actually working with them at least once first. If you fall into the first category, hey, thanks for watching. And if you're the latter, just go away, please. Why are you here? Jared and Margot actually made out on screen in 2016 when they starred as the Joker and Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad. Now, while they may have been on screen together, Margot wanted to be as far away from Jared as possible. In case you didn't already know, Jared's a bit of a weirdo on set. He takes the term method acting to a whole new level. When he was casted to play the Joker, he decided that the best way to prepare for that role was to dive right into the psyche of the green-haired maniac. Considering the Joker is one of the most brutal and mentally unhinged characters in DC history, it's no shock that Margot requested to rehearse with a stand-in throughout the entire project. Jared was cold and crazy when he spoke, and on top of that, he left his fellow castmates gifts that he claimed were receptive well, but the reality was that he was leaving adult toys, animal skulls, entrails, as well as live animals in people's trailers, even leaving a snake in Captain Boomerang's trailer bed. Following the film's poor reception, Jared actually claimed that Margot was to blame. Their chemistry was non-existent, and he said that having to rehearse alone made it worse. You would think talking to yourself in a room alone would have made him crazier. He's since refused to work with Margot ever again. Well, joke's on him, he could have been a Ken if he had played his cards right. And at number 1, Christopher Nolan. Capping off our list is one of the greatest directors of modern history. Christopher has been behind some of the best films to be released in the last 20 years, always opting to use as many practical effects as possible, even driving a large cargo plane into an air hangar for a shot in the 2021 epic Tenet, which is both the coolest and most confusing movie that man has ever made. Christopher is set to release a new film called Oppenheimer, a biographical piece depicting the titular scientist and his role in the development of the atom bomb. The internet has been swirling with memes as this film is actually said to simulate a small percentage of the actual force that an atom bomb will create with IMAX speakers. Now, what's funnier is this film is actually set to release on the same day as Barbie. And according to inside sources, that's not a coincidence. Christopher asked Margot to audition for a role in his upcoming film. Now, while it would have probably been small, Margot turned down that chance to work with Nolan, instead opting to focus her efforts on the Barbie movie. Nolan took this to heart and vowed revenge. Both films went on as scheduled, but Nolan kept his eye on Margot. While he may never cast her in future projects, he would get the last laugh by interrupting her lighthearted comedy with screams and the sound of a crumbling theater. Honestly, I don't know if that last one's 100% true or not, but hey, it seems a bit too suspicious to be a coincidence. Those are the top 10 celebrities who refuse to work with Margot Robbie. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please leave a like and comment your thoughts down below. And if you stay to the end despite not enjoying the content, go do something, get outside, come on man. As always, thanks for stopping beyond the screen today, and we'll see you next time.